ticking and it's ticking fast. We've had enough, this greed can't last. So count your days. You raise the price, but the vibe ain't right. Monthly subscription bills on repeat. Prices rise, but the pay don't change. We're stuck in the middle of a losing game. Count your days. Your game's exposed, the whole world knows your time is up, no more to say. Claiming inflation, but we see the play. How much more do we have to pay? Count your days.
Hey tea sippers, I hope you guys are doing good today. So welcome to another episode of Count Your Days.
Count your fucking days, bitch.
Yes, honey. Nintendo, Microsoft, Rockstar, all y'all better count your days, bitch, okay? So what's going down is this. When I tell you, I had asked you guys to, send me what you guys want to see on Count Your Days. And one of my tea sippers left a comment stating that I need to go in on the gaming industry. And when I tell you that comment had like literally over 100 comments, people were talking. I didn't realize that the gaming industry has changed this much, okay? Let me keep that real. I used to be a gamer, but I haven't gamed in years. My kids are grown. I think the last video game I bought was literally $49.99 at Target. I was shocked when people were in the comment section talking about video games are going upwards of 70, 80, and they're talking about the new GTA 6 that we've been waiting for damn near 10 years is looking at being $100. Objection. Rockstar, are you smoking fucking crack? $100 for a video game? After all the damn shit you guys have milked over the past 10 years, you guys have literally turned GTA into just like a slot machine. Upgrade this, buy that. All of these microtransactions, season passes, just bullshit. And y'all got the nerve to be trying to charge $100 because supposedly the game costs $2 billion to make. I'm not buying it. I don't believe it costs $2 billion. Why? Because they're constantly laying people off. They're constantly getting rid of developers. And I'm not just talking about Rockstar. The gaming industry is getting hit hard right now. So let me go ahead and read this article to you guys really quick. Okay, so in this article, it says, the video game industry has experienced a significant wave of layoffs, particularly in 2024, with more than 14,000 jobs lost. This follows a pattern of job cuts that began in 2023, with over 10,000 jobs lost that year. These layoffs have impacted both established studios and emerging game companies, affecting projects, employees, and overall the landscape of the industry. Then they go on to say in 2024, over 14,600 jobs were lost in the video gaming industry. In 2023, over 10,500 jobs were lost in the video game industry, so on and so forth. So that is my issue. The video game industry is getting greedy and people are tired of it. People are tired of the mess. So I belong to this Telegraph group. We've been together now, oh my gosh, like 5 years. Like I love my Telegraph group. And so literally everybody in there is a gamer. They game all the time. They talk about video games. Again, I'm a little bit older. I'm in my Miss Juanita era. I'm gonna just keep it real with y'all, okay?
Nice and quiet, my own little spot. Got my tomatoes, get me some wine. Whew.
I am Miss Juanita from Baby Boy. I want to sit in my garden. I got my landscaper putting it together for me. And I just want to sit in my garden and sip tea and just, chill and enjoy my life, okay? So I live vicariously through them, hearing about all the latest games and what's going on. So they're always ranting and raving. So today I was like, do you guys think I should do a Count Your Days on the video gaming industry? Because the comments on this one person's post were just blown up. And they were like, yes, T, you have to do it. We've been waiting for you to do a Count Your Days on the gaming industry. So it's just been a lot of stuff that people are really pissed off about. So let's go ahead and start with the Nintendo Switch. So if you guys do not know, the Nintendo Switch 2 is coming out. Nintendo basically has indie developers putting the games on game key cards. Not because it's better, it's because it's cheaper. They want to cut costs and they expect us, the consumers, to eat the cost. So they're putting everything on a game key card. On top of that, Mario Kart is now going to be $80. The original Mario Kart, now granted it's, inflation, we're in different times, but who the hell paid over $30 for a Mario game? Now it's coming out and it's going to be on a Switch. It's not even going to be a game that you're going to be playing on your, big flat screen television. You're literally playing it on a Switch and they want $80. So when people started complaining online about the prices, they were adding the Nintendo president, Doug Bowser. And he basically said that they're doing dynamic pricing. And if you can't afford it, then just don't get one. He really is Bowser from the original Nintendo games. in the flesh. Like, how dare he say, if you can't afford it, just don't buy it. Duh. I think that ran across everybody's head who couldn't afford it. But the point is, why are you guys raising the prices so much? Why are you guys doing game key cards? It's so much stuff that they're doing that's so underhanded and it's so unfair. And it's not just Nintendo, Microsoft as well. And then on top of that, you also have GTA doing all types of schemy, scummy stuff to continuously milk the consumers. So one of the people in the Telegraph group went on an amazing rant. So he gave me permission to play it in this video because he wants his voice heard, okay? So we're going to go ahead and listen to what James has to say.
Because think about it, like, because with the start of the PS3, that was like the first, the PS3, the Xbox 360, and the Nintendo Wii, the original Wii. That was like the first time we entered like the real digital age where you had like downloadable games for the most part. I think like the original Xbox had a download store, but it wasn't nothing like how robust everything got with the 360 and the PS3 and the Wii. Everybody was finally able to like play online accordingly, like built-in playing online. So it changed the game. Being able to download games online, it changed the game. Now, what we realized with that process is that when we download these games, we buy these digital downloads, which I have an extensive PS3 digital collection. I can't access that shit unless if I ever lose my PS3. Because you can't play them on the PS4. They cut that backwards compatibility. So they can start, and that's a whole other trend right there. There's so many games that have been tied and locked to the PS3. To where instead of like allowing you to have backwards compatibility, how the PS2 could play a PS1 game, the PS3 at first could play PS2 and PS1 games, and then it just went down just playing PS1 games to cut costs because, you know, why not, right? Cheaper to make them. Now we saw on the PS4 era, everybody started doing remakes of PS3 games on the PS4 and the PS5 instead of just allowing some type of emulation to be able to play the games we've already bought. So y'all want us to buy these games again. Like, how many times has The Last of Us been remastered and remade? How many times has God of War been remastered at this point? And there's rumors of another one.
So y'all just heard what James had to say. And at this point, a lot of us are tired of God of War. But again, not too much on God of War because I know they do have an original fan base that goes hard for that game. But it's like, it's just corporate greed at the end of the day. Because back in the day, everything was backwards compatibility. And they literally got rid of that feature because why give y'all that feature where y'all can just play your, you know, PS3 games? We're just going to remake the games, the same exact games, and charge y'all money for it in PS4 and PS5. So it's really sad, but again, this was all conditioning. Just like streaming. I've talked about this before with streaming of music and streaming of movies. Everything comes in the guise of convenience. Oh, you don't have to have physical disc. It's not going to clutter your home and, you know, it's going to save the environment. All these plastics and stuff like that don't end up in the ocean. And really, it was just game. Because they got people hooked on, you know, everything being up in the cloud. But what happens? Not too long ago, PlayStation had an issue where their servers were down and people could not access their games. And you had kids online literally going crazy.
Quality of service. This call may be recorded.
Customer service. Get me straight to the bitch, bruh.
You now have more options for how to get help.
Customer service.
An easy way for you
Customer service.
self-help resources or connect.
Customer service.
And these are people who paid for these games. So if their server goes down, you have no access to it. Whereas if it's a physical copy, that is your game, point blank, period. But over the years, I've watched the gaming industry get greedier and greedier and greedier. I remember at one point in time, they wanted to like make some type of stipulation. It was being discussed that if you buy a video game and then you try and sell it to like a friend, like, okay, I'm done, I beat this game, let me sell it to you, that they should get some type of cut. What? GameStop already wasn't giving you anything, barely anything for your games that you traded into them. You could bring 100 games and they'll be like $5. What? These damn games cost $50 a piece. So they were already getting all types of money from GameStop, but they didn't want people to sell stuff on their own. This was like this was going on. This controversy was like back in like 2010. So I don't know whatever came of that, but they were like literally trying to make that an issue. And I'm like, that'd be like me going to the store, buying this shirt and then deciding I want to sell it at a garage sale. And then the person who made this shirt, who knitted it, they should get commission from what I sell at the garage sale. Like, are you serious? Are y'all insane? So the gaming industry right now is getting drugged on social media. People are tired of the games. They're tired of the greed. So we're going to go ahead and watch some TikTokers reacting to everything that's going on right now with GTA 6 and also the Nintendo Switch.
The gaming industry is a disaster. Massive layoffs, broken games, and publishers milking players dry. And here's the problem. Thousands of developers are losing their jobs while publishers keep chasing expensive, bloated games that don't sell enough. Studios are shutting down left and right because the industry is overspending and overpromising. Plus, game budgets are insane. $200 million to make a game. And if it doesn't sell like GTA 5, it's a failure. Development cycles are so much longer, but games are still rushed, buggy, and packed with microtransactions. Every single game wants to be a live service, but players don't have time or money for 50 battle passes. Most of these games flop within months anyway, but publishers keep chasing the trends. And games are $70 now, plus DLC, plus battle passes. People can't keep up. And now studios rely on microtransactions to survive. Meanwhile, indie games are thriving, but they get buried under all the AAA crap that keeps getting released year after year. The industry's in a bubble, and it's gonna pop if things don't get better, and I swear I'll be right here ranting about it until the end.
So, if you ended up pre-ordering the Switch 2 from Walmart, you need to check the app to make sure it hasn't been canceled. I saw this news article that was saying that Walmart is canceling Switch 2 pre-orders. With the Switch 2 coming out this week, this is pretty worrisome. So, if you ended up pre-ordering the Switch 2 from Walmart, you need to check the app to make sure it hasn't been canceled.
Nintendo doesn't care, bro. After the price reveal of the Switch 2 got a lot of backlash, Nintendo's president spoke out in defense of the price. Bro said the tariffs have nothing to do with the price, straight up. Then said, if you can't afford the Switch 2, hey, play the Switch 1. Dog, what the fuck? I'm dead. Bro does not give a shit. Crazy thing is, he had the excuse. He did not have to say that. Everything is going up because of the tariffs. Everyone already thought that's why the price of the Switch was so high. You could have just said, yeah, it's the tariffs, and Smooth kept it pushing. Bro said, fuck the tariffs. We just want some bread for real. They had a get out of jail free card and said, the tariffs? Hell nah, that was us. Now really, he's just trying to say, look, not everyone can afford the Switch 2's price, but we're going to keep supporting the Switch 1 for a while. And that should be good news, but people did not take it like that, bro. People immediately compared it to the Xbox One launch. Do y'all remember this? Xbox One was being advertised as always online. When the old CEO was being interviewed about it, he said some stupid shit. Bro said if you can't afford it or don't have internet, we have a great product for you. It's called the
Xbox 360.
What type of shit is that, bro? Oh, you want to play a story game without having to be connected to the internet? Stick to the 360, bro, bitch. Shit like this destroyed the Xbox One, bro. PS4 blew it out the water, sold like twice as many copies, because the PS4 marketed being able to play games offline. These console launches are never normal, bro. Let me know what you guys think and if you're hyped for the Switch 2.
If you've ordered the new Nintendo Switch 2, how does it feel to know you've officially paid more to not even get a fraction of less? From a gamer's perspective, this console is already a fail, with a stable internet connection being essential for this handheld device to even work. Now, it's important to note that this stable internet connection will only be required the first time the game is actually downloaded. But many gamers are coming out, and rightfully so, saying that this is a recent con that's not even properly prevalent in older models, specifically the older gen ones. So why are you putting us through this now, Nintendo? Not to mention, this hardly makes up for the charging speed, which many players are coming out to say is absolutely atrocious for Nintendo Switch 2. The fact that now you technically will never own anything within the entire Nintendo universe, because now when you go and buy a physical game, it won't actually have the game itself on it, it will just be a pass key to the game itself. And to me and a lot of gamers watching, that ruins an essential and almost nostalgic aspect of the entirety of Nintendo. So the nerve for you to try and charge $80 for a digital download alongside a $90 for a hard copy, which converted to Great British pounds isn't that much better, is absolutely diabolical. You must be drunk. And
Again, own nothing and be happy. This is why they're doing this. They're all following the same model as streaming, as, streaming music, streaming movies. I mean, even us getting comfortable with all these apps, DoorDash apps, Uber, Lyft. When they first came in, they came in the guise of convenience, and now it's $50 to take an Uber literally 10 minutes away. So it's crazy.
We at Nintendo are updating our user agreement for the Switch 2. If you make any unauthorized modifications to your Switch 2, we will remotely deactivate your console so that you cannot play any more games.
Oh,
Understand deactivating online play and the store with mods installed, but deactivating the console itself? People will own the Nintendo Switch 2. They should have rights to do what they want with it. Actually, they will not own the Switch 2. They will own the license to play the Switch 2. And
Again, own nothing and be happy. Understand the games that are being played in the gaming industry, okay?
you sound like the big brother of gaming. In addition to this, physical games will no longer be installed on the game cartridge. The game cartridge will only contain a key to install the game over the internet. What's the point of physical? And why are you charging another $10 for it? People will be paying $80 for a key? Yes, exactly. A key to access the license to the game. So we won't own anything. Insane. You know what else is insane? Selling out Switch 2 pre-orders within an hour.
I just saw a video of somebody coming to an incredibly important realization. They're basically saying with like Sony's servers being down, they've come to the realization that they're essentially paying $60 to rent a game when it's available. And like, look, late, better than never, right? But yeah, that's been the point. Like, you don't own games that you buy digitally. This is why I fully support and actively attempt to add to my collection of physical media. When it comes to video games, that can be really expensive, especially if you want to go into the retro stuff. So I highly recommend, especially if you want to get into retro things, emulation. Take your files, put them on an emulator. You can play them wherever you want. When it comes to music, get yourself an MP3 player. Do not connect it to the internet. Just load your songs on here. That way it doesn't matter if Spotify, YouTube Music, Apple Music, whatever you use goes down. Doesn't matter. Your songs are on here.
I've been saying that for years. We grew up in the era where we burnt music, honey. Team LimeWire, Team BearShare, Team Kazaa, okay? We downloaded CDs out the wazoo. Physical media is where it's at because all of these industries are insane at this point. They're insane what they're doing.
Dude, thrift shops are insane for picking up DVDs and movies, especially like Marvel stuff or like any like the big movies that sold really well. They're ending up in thrift stores now. I've got like 30 DVDs and Blu-rays that I got at my local thrift shop for a total of like $50. And the good news is if you're just getting into like physical media collecting now, DVD players and Blu-ray players are more available and more affordable than they ever have been. $40 with HDMI on Amazon, and Walmart is even selling them with the On brand for, I think, $30. If you aren't holding it in your hand, it doesn't belong to you. That is the philosophy of these companies, and you have to work within that. And remember, if I don't own it when I buy it, I'm not stealing it when I pirate it. I'm not stealing it when...
Oh! Objection. I'm not even mad at you, okay? He went there.
I'm fine when it's a deserving remake, reboot, or whatever, but I just miss the days of like new IPs and us being excited for something brand new. And some of those remakes and reboots are great, like Resident Evil 4, awesome. And then you have other ones that are trash, like GTA Trilogy Definitive Edition. I think the main reason gaming companies are doing this is because it's so much more risky to create a new IP and then maybe everybody hates it and they spent all this money and resources on something that isn't going to sell well. These companies at the end of the day just want to make money, and I get that, but I also think that they need to show a little bit more creativity. And honestly, with AI and all these layoffs, I'm honestly wondering if they're going to start doing new IPs, but it's going to be created by AI, which might be watered down and even more poor than if a human had done it. But let me know what y'all think. Do y'all love remakes and reboots? Are you cool with them? Or do you wish that gaming companies would just do away with them and only create new IPs?
This, like the whole thing that's going on with the gaming industry, low-key reminds me of what's going on with the movie industry. It's laziness. We'd rather just remake all these Disney movies as opposed to coming up with new stories, new ideas. That is why Sinners just killed the box office. Because it was something new, it was something fresh. And people are tired of the remakes and the same old, same old. And I think that's also what's going on in the gaming industry as well.
As someone who has been playing video games their whole life, I think about this kind of often. And I think people who are in their like late 20s, early 30s, give or take, will understand what I'm getting at here. But if you're around this age range and you played video games your whole life, I don't think there was a better era for you to be born in to enjoy gaming. You were old enough to enjoy classic titles and older consoles like Pokemon on the Game Boy in real time. Like these were the latest consoles you could buy, while being young enough that these experiences, these gaming experiences became core childhood memories for you. And with that, you have this like appreciation for the evolution of gaming and technology when you play video games today, because you get to compare that experience from like 20 years ago to what gaming is today. Sometimes I do wonder if like a 10-year-old can really appreciate what gaming is today with its like insane graphics, because they literally didn't exist when games looked like crap. And I'm not saying the young gamers right now can't go and play SM64, play the classic titles. I'm just saying I feel lucky to have lived through that era as it was happening in real time, and lived through an era where if I played a popular game back then, it had a high likelihood of being known to be a classic today. Being able to compare the two experiences of like gaming in the 90s and the 2000s to what gaming is today makes me personally appreciate gaming so much more. The Zoomers are going to watch this and be like, you're just coping because you're getting old, but this is actually how I feel.
Nothing wrong with getting older. I loved gaming back in the day in the 90s and 2000s. I remember as kids when we got our first Super Nintendo and playing Super Mario World and Donkey Kong and, just all of those games. I still remember Atari, playing Zelda and stuff like that, and Sonic the Hedgehog. Like, those are memories. And back then, I felt like, let me come on and do solo. And back then, I felt like when you gamed, it was more fun because all your friends, your cousins, you had to be in a physical location together. That bonded people. And I remember when it was whispers of being able to play online with folks, in Cali or in a whole nother country, we were there to experience that. And at first it was cool. It's like, wow, this is really nice. But then what did you find out? It was a bunch of trolling and assholes and kill yourself and people just going off. And it got so toxic in some of those chat rooms and some of those game rooms. It was insane. Like, I miss when, all the kids would come over and just play together, be in a physical room. So I think there's a lot of nostalgia that's tied in with gaming. And that's why so many of us has held on to gaming for so long and have supported the gaming industry. But they've done nothing but literally slap us in our faces time and time again.
If you haven't been paying attention, game industry analysts claim that game companies want GTA 6 to tax. They want the game to cost $80 to $100 so that everybody else can upcharge games for more. But here's the thing. Games really shouldn't even cost more than what they are right now. They're already $70 plus, bro. You mean to tell me you want to increase the price more? I feel like GTA is the only people that could get away with that, because we've waited 10 years for the game. Most of y'all is not putting in paying like GTA for your games. I'm sorry. Even now, the games is low-key overpriced, because when you buy a game on digital, you don't even really own the game. They could take the rights away from you. So you spent that $60, $70, $80 for your game to literally get stripped. Y'all could try it. Watch how I stop spending money on games.
Gaming used to be, relatively cheap. Yeah, not anymore. Seriously, it seems like all these major companies are just fucking us. Like, bro, come on now. Nintendo, $90 Mario Kart. Are we fucking kidding me? Like, dude, I don't know what kind of fucking crack you're smoking, but dude, I want some. Like, no way a game, let alone Mario Kart, should cost $90. Dude, what the fuck? It's not just games in general. It's everything to do with gaming. Like, bro, I get it. Like, technology is getting better and better. I understand that entirely. Why are you trying to sell me a GPU for $1,000 fucking dollars? Like, at that point, I should just buy my own pre-built PC for $1,500. Like, gaming used to be such, a niche hobby, and now you gotta fucking have a full-time job to support it. And bro, don't even get me started with the fucking accessories. Like, each year, every time you get something new, especially a console, they just keep taking from you. I mean, at first, I remember when everything came included. I remember the fucking Wii. That shit came with a controller, a nunchucks, the game, and then the actual console itself. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if you paid full price for a console and they just gave you the controllers and said, fuck you, you need to pay another $100 for the rest. And the main issue with it is people fucking support it. The only game that should cost $90 to $100, I would say, would be GTA 6. And that itself is a crazy price tag. But nowadays, I mean, we're getting to that fucking point where games are just going to naturally cost that. But bro, the rumors that it's going to be $120, dude, what the fuck? I mean, shit, at that point, just fuck me in the ass. And you know what? People are still going to fucking pay for it.
And that's the problem, is that people keep supporting these companies. they're going to keep effing everybody if you're going to just complain online and then run out and buy the Switch or run out and buy GTA 6. At some point, you have to take a stand as a gamer and say, no more. No more. So it's just crazy how bad it's gotten the industry, as far as like the greed and everything else. But again, if people keep buying and only complaining online, but then buying in the store, they're going to continue being greedy. And that's just the truth of the matter.
I'm paying per hour for a child to play a game. That is terrible.
Yeah.
That's the whole reason I don't like WoW. Like, I'm not going to buy a game, buy the expansions, and then pay a monthly price to play the game.
Right.
That's just never going to happen.
Did you say you're going to permanently disable people's Switch 2s?
Correct. Anyone caught with unauthorized modifications on their Switch 2 will have it permanently disabled.
You're joking, right?
Do I look like I'm joking to you, Breadbox?
You can't just brick people's devices. Once they've bought it, it's personal property.
Actually, we can, because it's not their property.
What do you mean it's not their property? They bought it.
According to our updated end-user license agreement, buying a Switch 2 is simply buying a license to use Switch products and services.
Wait, what?
In fact, Switch 2 game cards won't have any game information on them.
So game cards are just physical versions of digital keys now?
Precisely.
You're not going to get away with this. You're going to get sued.
They won't be able to.
What do you mean?
We added that to the license agreement as well.
So if they agree to the updated license agreement, they can't pursue any legal action against you?
Correct.
Somebody please wake me up from this nightmare.
Do not buy the Nintendo Switch 2 on launch day. I can't believe I'm making this video. These are dark times ahead where I cannot recommend a new Nintendo console when it comes out. What the fuck? It's not even about the controversy surrounding the Switch 2, like will you actually own games? The console being able to be bricked if you're not using it correctly. The prices of digital and physical, it's not about that. It is about that a little bit, but it's mostly about the fact that on launch day specifically, you are getting 6 games that are 2 years or 7 years old. Do you really want to pay $450 for that shit? I understand the appeal of the Switch has always been portability, and that's fine, but think about what you're spending your money on. $450 at the lowest. You're getting a game that would probably run better on PS5 or Series X. You're getting 2 games that run perfectly fine on the Switch OLED, at least when it's docked. You're getting another game that doesn't even fucking matter anymore. Nobody talks about Hogwarts Legacy. And Mario Kart World is cool, I guess. Is there anything wrong with 8 Deluxe for a few more months? If Donkey Kong Bonanza and Metroid Prime 4 were both launch titles, this probably wouldn't be a video. I would not be making this video. But it's the fact that Bonanza comes out a month after release. Metroid Prime 4 comes out at the earliest, I'd say maybe September. There is literally no fucking reason to buy a Switch 2 given the controversy, the prices, and no actual new games besides the one on release day. And I'm not going to say never buy a Switch 2, not really what this video is about, but like if you want to think about $450 to $500, maybe more if you're getting physicals of other games that are releasing on June 5th. Think about if you don't already own a budget PC, no joke, a Steam Deck, an Xbox Series X, a PS5, all of those things are cheaper. I mean, a budget PC, probably like $600 to $800, but still, think about a budget PC over a Switch 2. Just, you can spend your money on whatever you want. It doesn't matter. I am telling you, I don't think it's a good idea, and just think about what other things you could buy for $500 and possibly more. Just think about it.
All right, so he said some truth, and it looks like a lot of gamers are starting to push back. That is the only way you're going to see change. You have to push back and say, we're not spending damn near $500 on this when it's coming with these trash games. I'm not spending $80 for a game that I can't physically own. You know, there has to be a lot of pushback, and it looks like a lot of people are having these conversations. People are canceling their pre-orders, hence why Walmart is saying that, the pre-orders are being canceled. I think that's gamers and people who are just deciding, you know what, it's just too much. There's more important things. I'll stick to my Switch 1. And especially being that Mr. Bowser, came out and he just acts like he doesn't give a shit. Like if he can't afford it, oh well. So it shows you how they really think and care about their consumers, which is very little. For years, they just been taking advantage because they just knew people would just keep buying, not thinking anything of it. You know, look how many times you had to buy skins and outfits, you know, for like just even Fortnite, just like different games. Everything is about money, 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 instead of just getting the game, you know what I'm saying, and having everything that should already be in the game. You know, outfit changes, swords, knives, guns, just whatever. All of that should come with the game. That's how it was back in the day when we were gaming. You didn't have to upgrade to get like a better knife or a better, you know, gun. Like, it's just ridiculous how far gaming has fallen. So, tea sippers, I leave the conversation up to you guys. Shout out to all the gamers on this channel. I didn't realize I had so many that wanted me to cover this topic, but here we are. I want to hear from you guys. Please leave a comment down below. How do you guys feel about all of this controversy that's going on with not just Rockstar's GTA 6, but also the Nintendo Switch and the price of gaming, how much these games are, all the microtransactions? Let's go ahead and get the discussion popping. I look forward to reading y'all's comments down below. Feel free to share the video. Don't forget to like the video. And most importantly, make sure you still subscribe to the channel. And I'll talk to y'all later. Deuces.
If you want the latest news in the streets, join us and tune in for the tea. Breaking news with integrity. So tell your friends and your family. It's the Lovelyti TV show, bringing you good tea and good vibes. It's the Lovelyti TV show. Be sure to share, like, and subscribe.